Hello, hello. Today we are coding on the beach. And in the last video, I just showed you how to set up a new NextJS, Postgres, NextAuth, and ShadCN website for free, hosting on Vercel. And I was using the Vercel templates feature to deploy the website. Now I'm going to show you how to deploy the same thing, but how to do it directly from a GitHub repo. So this way you can deploy any Next.js project using Postgres for free on Vercel just by taking the URL of the GitHub repo. The first thing that we need to do this time is we need to set up the Postgres database. So I'm going to go to Storage under Vercel, and I'm going to click Create a Postgres database. Okay, I'll just call it my dashboard database. That's it for now. There is going to be a tab right here, .env.local, and that's going to keep some useful information that we're going to need for later. So now I'm going to go to the GitHub repository that I want to use, and I'm going to actually either fork it or create a new repository based off this template, which is an option that you sometimes have. And I'm just going to call this my Next.js dashboard. It can be private, and then I'm going to create that repository. So once that's created, then all I have to do is copy this URL. I can git clone that repository that I just created, and I can just cd into that. And now I'm going to open the project in VS Code. So yes, of course, we need to npm install to install the packages, but then we also need to go to this .env and need to copy and paste that to a .env file from the example file. So for this Postgres portion, I'm just going to go back to the Postgres database that we set up, and I'm going to copy all of this and paste it in here. Now I don't think we actually need the rest of this, but I'll just leave it in here for now. And for the auth secret, I'm going to go to this URL, and I'm going to get the unique string that it generates and then paste that in here. And let's see, for GitHub, I'm just going to go to my GitHub and go to Settings. Then under Settings, I will go all the way down to Developer Settings. And so what we're doing here is we're creating a way so that users can log in to our app using GitHub as an authentication provider. And this is just for this template because it uses GitHub for authentication. So I'll go to OAuth Apps, register a new application, my dashboard, and this can be just anything. And then for this callback URL, because we're just testing locally, I can just put in localhost, and I'm going to save that. And I'll take this. I'll register. I'll generate a new client secret, and then I'll copy the client ID here and the secret. So once all that is in there, hopefully if I run npm run dev, the website is going to spin up. So let's open that in Chrome. So there's nothing in the database right now, but if I will copy this command here, and on the Vercel storage tab, I can paste in this query, which is going to create the database, and then I can just run another query which is going to just put something in that database. So we know that it actually works. Let's also test out the authentication. So by clicking sign in, I should be able to sign in as a GitHub user. And this failed. And I think there's a bug right now where you actually have to delete the nextauth URL in the .env. And let's see if that works. Let's see. So I'm getting, this is unsafe. Looks like perhaps the callback URL was not exactly the same. So it wasn't the same because my Vercel app is running on HTTP and I put in HTTPS. So I'm going to update that and I'm going to try signing in again. And this time it works. So something to watch out for. Okay, so yeah, now the whole app is running on localhost. And of course I want to get it deployed live on Vercel. So I just need to go to the Vercel homepage, add new project, and this time I'm going to copy the URL of my repository, and now I just need to import the repository that I created. And now I just need to select the new repository from the list here. And here under environment variables, I should expand this. And I can actually just copy all of this and paste right here. And that's going to show up here. But one thing that I do need to do, because the authentication, because I put the callback URL into GitHub as localhost, I need to either change this callback URL or create a new GitHub app to provide authentication for deployment. And since I want to be able to authenticate with my local environment, and my production environment, I am going to go to developer settings and I'm going to create a new app, and I'm going to call this, my dashboard production. And this can be anything. This one has to be the URL of your deployed project, and we can normally guess what that is from the project name, so that should be HTTPS my NextJS dashboard.vercel.app, and I'll click register application, and I have the client ID here, and I'll generate a new secret so I can replace these to use the correct ones for production. And I think it's also probably a good idea to regenerate the auth secret while we're changing that. So I'm going to do that, and I'll put that in here. So now with the new settings, if I click deploy, this should work now, and it should deploy to Vercel. Okay, so now it's been about 1 minute, and that just deployed. And I noticed that this new domain is different than the one that I put into the GitHub OAuth app. So we'll see now that this button doesn't work, this login button. But if I go back to the application here, and I will just update that callback URL. Here we have my deployed working app. The database is working, it's the same one. And the authentication, that's also working. that's almost working. But I think one thing that could have caused this could be that I changed the environment variables without redeploying the project. So let's do that. Let's go here and let's go to redeploy. Okay, so let's try it out, and it works. Cool. So yeah, that's you can deploy any NextJS repository on Vercel for free using the built-in Postgres database, and also setting up OAuth and putting the right OAuth credentials into the environment variables. And as you can see, it's not too difficult. It might take you like 10-20 minutes to figure out the first time, but it's a pretty easy workflow, and since I've been using it myself, I thought I would just share it. Hope it helps.